Hey there. I want to talk about something really important today, something that I think a lot of us experience but don't always have the words for: the slow, winding road of healing. You know, we often see stories of dramatic recovery. The person who hit rock bottom and then, in a flash, turned their whole life around. And while those stories are incredible and inspiring, they aren't the whole picture. For many of us, especially when dealing with things like depression or deep grief, healing doesn't happen overnight. It's not a switch you flip. Think of it like this: some valleys in life you can cross in an afternoon. They're challenging, sure, but you can see the other side, and you just have to push through. But other valleys, they're vast. They're long. You can't just sprint across them. You have to walk through them, slowly. Healing from depression is often like that long, slow walk. It's quiet. It's gradual. And most importantly, it's uneven. Some days, you wake up and the sun feels a little warmer. You feel a spark of hope, a sense of lightness you haven't felt in a long time. You might think, this is it. I'm finally turning a corner. And then, a few days later, maybe even the very next day, the heaviness returns. The fog rolls back in. It can feel so discouraging, like all that progress you made was just an illusion. You might ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why am I back here again? I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not going backward. You are not failing. This is not a sign that you're broken or that healing isn't possible for you. It simply means you're human. Healing is not a straight line climbing upward. It's more like a spiral. You might circle back to familiar feelings, but each time you do, you're viewing them from a slightly higher place, with a little more experience and a little more strength than you had before. There's this beautiful piece of ancient wisdom that talks about walking through the valley of the shadow of death. The key words there are walking through. It doesn't say set up a tent and live there forever. But it also doesn't say pretend the valley doesn't exist and just teleport to the other side. It acknowledges the journey, the process, the walking. So, what does this walking look like in real life? It's not always about grand gestures or dramatic breakthroughs. Progress isn't always something you can post about on social media. Sometimes, progress is just getting out of bed when every fiber of your being wants to stay under the covers. Sometimes, it's brushing your teeth. Sometimes, it's making a simple meal instead of skipping it. Sometimes, progress is finally making that phone call you've been dreading, to a therapist, to a doctor, to a friend. It's gathering the courage to say, I'm not okay, and I need help. That is a monumental step. And sometimes, on the really, really hard days, progress is simply the choice to stay. The choice to endure one more day, one more hour, one more minute. That choice, in itself, is an act of incredible strength. If you're on this journey, I want to urge you to be patient with yourself. Imagine talking to a friend who broke their leg. You wouldn't tell them to just get over it and run a marathon the next day, would you? You'd tell them to rest, to follow their doctor's advice, to give their body the time it needs to knit itself back together. Your mind, your heart, your spirit, they deserve that same compassion, that same patience. And this leads to another crucial point: how we support others who are struggling. If someone you love is walking through a long valley, your role isn't to be a drill sergeant, shouting at them to hurry up. It's not to be a lecturer, explaining all the things they should be doing. More often than not, the most healing thing you can offer is your quiet, steady presence. Listening heals more than lectures ever could. Creating a safe space where they can be honest about their struggles, the good days and the heavy days, without fear of judgment is one of the greatest gifts you can give. Simply saying, I'm here with you. You don't have to pretend. I'm not going anywhere can be a lifeline. Don't underestimate the power of just being there. We live in a culture that idolizes speed and efficiency. We want instant results, quick fixes, and overnight success. But healing, true, deep healing, often defies that timeline. It has its own rhythm, its own pace. And trying to rush it is like trying to force a flower to bloom by pulling its petals open. You'll only damage it. So, you don't have to rush your recovery. You don't have to meet anyone else's expectations for how your journey should look. You just have to keep moving, even if it's just one small, shuffling step at a time. Each step is a victory. Each moment you choose to keep going is a testament to your resilience. The valley might be long, but it is not endless. There are sunlit meadows on the other side. They are waiting for you. And you will get there, not by rushing, but by walking, by being patient, by being kind to yourself, and by remembering that you don't have to walk alone. If this message resonated with you, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you know someone who might need to hear this today, a friend, a family member, a loved one, please share this video with them. Let's create a community where we understand that healing takes time, and that's more than okay. Thank you for watching.